Hey, welcome. This is Lucas Offenkamp. Speaking to you from Lakewood Park Bible Camp, the site of North Dakota Men's Retreat 2023. And I am speaking with Daren Streblow, and he is our comedian. He's been in North Dakota previously. He spoke at performed, whatever the right word is, at Men's Retreat years ago, and it was very memorable for him. We've been talking the details of that in depth, but anyway, Daren, it's good to have you with us, and we're excited to have you coming back to Men's Retreat. Can you take just a moment to reintroduce yourself to our guys?
I'm Daren. I'm from Minnesota. I'm a comedian. I did go to college. I have a degree in communications and computer science as a minor, so I can't actually get a job. So this is what I do.
Excellent. Well, kind of along those lines, when did you find out that you were funny enough to stand in front of people and make them laugh and make a living at the same time?
Well, I think I never really discovered that myself. I feel like God kind of had to coax me and said, by the way, I didn't give you this thing that, you're always trying to make people laugh just for your own amusement, to make your wife miserable at restaurants and stuff. I want you to do this. And I had some hints along the way. I used to have an English teacher that I would make comments during her class, and she would just kind of stand up and she'd walk out of the room and then slam the door. And I thought, thought maybe I had, made her mad over the years. And after I graduated, she told me the reason I left was so that I would laugh out in the hallway, so I wouldn't give you any power. I'm like, what? So perfect. I knew there was something there then, and it's one of those things, there's this compulsion. I think I saw a documentary about comedians once, and one of the comedy club owners said there's this compulsion to always want to make people laugh, even when it ends up miserably. You pick yourself off the ground and wipe the blood off your face and go, boy, I got to try that again. So I there's a reason that was there. I think God kind of helped me pursue that, and it's been 24 years. It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it.
What are a couple keys, would you say, to great comedy?
Well, that's a great question, actually. When you start, you just think, well, it's just funny, anything that's funny. But I think as you start to kind of dig into the art form as what makes it really tick, there's a depth to it, a little bit of a truth depth, and that's a little bit misleading, because a lot of the stories we tell are very highly exaggerated, and it's kind of a fantasy a little bit, but there is a level of truth that resonates between you and the audience. That's why it's funny. It's taking painful experiences, stressful experiences, common experiences, and kind of getting a 50,000-foot view of it. But we're all sort of walking through this together, and there's surprises along the way and different things. But the more you can kind of dial into that truth, and the truth of who you are as a person, which, taps into who God made you, that sort of comes out. So you're always talking about your flaws, and you're talking about how miserable you are at things and different things. And it resonates with people.
Right.
And, I think the more you can tap into that common ground. So when I started comedy, I was kind of like very smooth, and I sounded like a radio guy, hey, you do this, but I realized the audience, like, that's not true. So later it's like, hey, how's it going? Like a Minnesota, North Dakota guy. Right. They're just like, oh, that's you, and then they wake up, So it's kind of like just being that natural thing that God wanted you to be, and that includes talking about, all the ways you're miserable at life. So
yeah, that's funny. Well, I think too, so many of our stories are a good comic, you can associate with so many of the stories. I just in over the past couple months, I pulled up some of your videos, and like the one where you're talking about the first time you met your wife and you chugged your root beer or something and spit it all over. I don't remember exactly, but I think everyone hears that, you think, yeah, that was me, or that
Oh yeah, sure,
could have
sure.
very easily been me. Yeah.
Or even when it's like, I'm like 52. So what do you do for exercise anymore? They're like, exercise gives you energy, it gives you sharp thinking, makes you look, awesome. Exercise makes me look exhausted, brain fogged, and look like roadkill. I've skipped many leg decades. I'm just not
Yeah.
good at exercise. So I got into, I was trying to find something, and they have, I tried jogging, karate, exercise videos, nothing. So now I'm trying like these mini trampolines. Have you seen these things? It's sort of humiliating. You're jumping on this little trampoline. It's kind of like going for the eye of the tiger thing, but you end up with circus music, just kind of jumping up and down. They call it rebounding, which sounds so much more dignified than bouncy housing,
Yeah.
Bring party hats and a funnel cake, woohoo, But I thought, well, I got to have some kind of a thing to watch when I do it so that I exercise right. So I'm looking up videos and it's like, there's millions of them. There's millions of, okay, oh, great. But they're all like workout leaders doing triple axle backflip, drivers, smash jumps. And they're just all enthusiastic. Like, today we're going to power jump holding a tractor tire that's still attached to the tractor and light it on fire. Fitness or death. No. I need something for my speed. So I find this middle-aged guy and I think, okay, here's my guy. They start to play it and he's like, this video is a beginner trampoline video for people who have particular health issues, muscular defects, anemics, asthmatics, skull injuries, coma victims, people in need of crutches, bladder control issues, spinal cord replacement patients, and people who need medical attention after a game of beanbag toss. What we're going to do here is basically sit on the trampoline for 30 seconds and blink to the beat of Eye of the Tiger. And I'm like, yes, that's my, so that's my exercise these days. So it's just, all the frustrations of being middle-aged trying to exercise.
Yeah. I kind of zoned out for a minute there when you were talking. I thought you were listing like side effects for prescription drugs.
We do ignore that, don't we? It's like, should I take that drug? I don't want to hear that. I just want to feel.
I want my restless leg syndrome to go away. Who cares if my heart quits beating as long as my legs don't twitch anymore. But,
no. I have kids. Tim Hawkins, the comedian.
Never heard of him.
Kids, and what's funny is the profit without honor thing, because my kids think, well, his kids think I'm really funny, and my kids think he's funny. My kids think I'm mildly amusing, and he said Tim's kids call his routine "Dad's boring story." Tim Hawkins. So it's just like your family never thinks,
That's funny. Speaking of other comedians, talk for just a moment about your comedy show. What is? Is that broadcast on radio? Just give us some details.
It is. We're on about over 100 stations. And it's just, it was kind of born. It wasn't even my idea. There was a producer that called me with the idea, and I thought, that this might be fun because, there's like 4,000. I heard this number a while ago, but there's like 4,000 comedians in the United States, right? Which sounds kind of like a lot initially, but think how many musicians are there in just Bismarck? Mm-hmm. There's not very many of us. Of that group, maybe 300 of them are clean.
Sure. Yeah.
So the clean comics, know each other.
Right.
And we have this weird sort of camaraderie. So this show kind of brings us all together. We do some interviews and stuff, but it's just a lot of bits. And we just laugh together to clean comedy. It's a weekly show. If you want to listen to it, I have an app. Just type Daren and comedy into your app store. You'll see me there, and It's
Great.
free, and
That's
you can
great.
listen to the show once a week. It's kind of fun, and just kind of showcasing clean comedy for everybody, with some inspirational stuff in there too, hopefully. So
Yeah, wonderful. Well, that's great, Daren. Thanks for your time, and works really. Again, I'm looking forward to having you back at North Dakota Men's Retreat. And the dates for the event are February 23 to 25. And guys, you can go to ndmen.org/events for details and registration. And lodging is here at the camp, or you can grab lodging in town in Devil's Lake. There's some irony for you. Our Bible camp is in Devil's Lake, so you can do some work
go
on that.
out with the gospel. You know?
Yeah, some they say some jokes write themselves, right? But anyway,
Appreciate
thanks
the
for your
time, my friend. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me do this, and look forward to hanging out with all you guys. It's going to be great.
Super. Thanks a lot, Daren.